Yo, what's up? Jamie, aka Dracula here, and it's been a super long time since I made like a video like this, breaking down some shit, making a beat, talking to y'all about the beat, blah 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 blah. But if you follow me on my Instagram, which I'll like show you here, or I'll put a link to it, I don't know. But if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I've been super busy. I've been working on my clothing brand Nocturnal. I've been working with a couple of my homies. I've been executive producing albums. I just dropped an ad campaign for my clothing brand like a couple weeks ago or something on this channel. And I just ordered like the official version of the comic books I'm gonna be selling soon. If you don't know about my comic books, there's a free link to read the comic book. I'll put down there. But yeah, I'm gonna be selling the comic books. I got some t-shirts coming out. I got some music coming. So I've been super busy, but I have been keeping up with a lot of things going on. And as you can tell by the title, and as you know, the setup, I'm gonna be making a Don't Tap the Glass type beat. A beat inspired by Don't Tap the Glass. So Don't Tap the Glass, I really like. It dropped on my birthday. And this is actually the second time that he dropped on my birthday. He also dropped Flower Boy on my birthday, July 21st. So that instantly put him on. Now he's my favorite artist. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was, you know, him, and I also like Kanye, I also like Pharrell. So it was like a toss up between them, but I'm not gonna lie, that kind of stamped him as my favorite artist. So, you know, I got the box set. It came with this shirt, and then also I got the CD, and I got the vinyl version of the album. It came inside of this like weird, you know, case. There's probably been mad videos made about this already. You know, I'm kind of super fucking late. But, you know, I love that album packaging shit. That's like my favorite part of, you know, albums, is the way that they package shit. I have mad videos of me talking about album packaging and stuff like that somewhere on my channel. I have a link or something. It'll pop up maybe. I don't know if I feel like doing it. But I have mad videos about album packaging. So the way that he packaged this album and rolled it out with, you know, barely anything, like, yo, album dropping in like a week. We kind of found out, like, the people found out because his Golf Wing website like updated, like, yo, there's an album dropping. So I really liked the just like no bullshit, get straight to a drop album. I wish more artists was like that, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about me making a beat inspired by this album. So the two beats that I was inspired by the most for making the beat that I'm making was Sugar on My Tongue and Don't Play With Me. I don't know if I've said this in a video before. The laptop that I'm using right now is basura, straight shit, straight screen recording on my laptop right now is mad dukes. But I use FL Studios and shit like that, you feel me? So I started off, I made this drum pattern. You know, I could break down the drum pattern real quick. So I started with this kick pattern. And, you know, kind of like that, almost like there's a lot of 80s influence in this album. So I was trying to get like some 80s type drums in there. So then I added this snare. I added this clap on a couple of the snares just to give it some, like, you know, some dynamic. Yeah. I put some of these hi-hats, or open hats right here. You hear that? You know, just kind of like a weird sound effect on it. And then I added the shaker. You feel me? Then moving away from drums, I made this bass line. And the way that I like to make bass lines is I like to use two different bass sounds. I like to use, I make the same bass line with two different bass sounds. One, if I'm doing synth bass, that is. I use one that's like just a straight sub bass. That's just straight that heaviness, just that, you know, like just that straight heaviness in there. And then I'll layer that with one with like some texture in it, so that I still have that texture. But sometimes, I don't know if I'm just mixing it wrong, but sometimes when I'm using a synth bass with like a lot of texture, I'm kind of losing a bit of that deeper bass into it, you know, that punchiness in there, you know. So that's why I like to use both of them. So I start off with, you know, this one. And then I have something like this under it. You know, so then put together this. You know what I mean? It has that punchiness and it has that texture also. So then after that, I made up this little chord line. And then I made another bass line. That one, you know, for that part was super, super inspired by Don't Play With Me. And then I made this bass line that sounds a lot like the Sugar on My Tongue bass line to me. That. So I have those two different like bass lines going back and forth. And then I made up this chord progression. Not really a chord progression. I just kind of stabbed. Kind of giving mad Andre 3000. Speaking of Andre 3000, it's the 22-year anniversary of Love Me, of Speakerboxx and the Love Below. Had this effect. Then I added this effect, just like breathing effect. I got it from the Breathing from Black Skinhead. Right in that part where that bass comes in. It started giving me like Gorillaz vibes almost. But yeah. When I'm done talking, I'll probably put, you know, a section of, you know, so you can actually hear the beat in the, you know, better context, you know, without just me playing off my fucking speakers. You guys hearing off my fucking phone. Probably don't hit like that. But yeah, that's the beat that I made. Super inspired by the album. It was a really good album. And I wish, or I hope that, you know, we get some more music like that for the rest of the year. We've been getting a lot of really good music. The next idea that I want to make something kind of inspired by the JID album. I want to make something inspired by the Alfredo album. Like, yo, I kind of want to make another Let God Sort Him Out video also, because that's still my album of the year, if anybody's wondering. I love Don't Tap the Glass, but Let God Sort Him Out, that shit's different as fuck. And I also been wanting to low-key run back, like, and do some classics, like, you know, a GNX type album, or like even some shit like mad throwback, like an 808s and Heartbreaks type album, or a beat. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Super fun. Miss doing this. I'm gonna try to do this more. Yeah.